Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Leslie Berger, co-president of the temple, along with David Youngman. Tomorrow evening is Iron Chef Latka, so if you haven't RSVP'd, it's okay, you can still come. You can walk in, it's $25 at 6 o'clock. Should be a lot of fun. It always is. Bring your unwrapped toys tomorrow, the last day, for the toy collection, toy drive. Thank you. You have until December 16th to RSVP for Mushu Jew. The form is on our website to RSVP. And also, Susan wants to remind everybody, have you reviewed your contact information on the yearbook roster? Even if there's no change, everyone, please go and look. Ways and Means is playing a George Gershwin concert with Beth Sussman on January 28th. Reservation forms are on our website. It should be a really fun evening. It's going to include drinks and nosh at 7:30. Also, Brotherhood is having a Super Bowl football pool. Boards are up in the social to sign up and pay. And they're also an Angel Suite raffle opportunity. Contact Howard Levoot for details. He'll be here tomorrow night if you're going to be here for Iron Chef. Thank you to Cantor Stacey and Dr. Ray for being part of the service, and Joe for sharing the bima with me. Thanks to the tech team, Phil Carey, David Youngman, and Chris Strashock, and Susan Carey for running the chat. Thanks to the volunteer ushers, Tim and Jody Green, and the emergency exits are over here and over here and over there, in case you don't know. I'm reminded to do this every once in a while. Shabbat Shalom. Am I doing, oh,
Shabbat greetings.
okay. The slide hasn't changed, so Shabbat greetings.
This okay, they'll catch up.
Okay. We have Shabbat greetings tonight from Rita and Bob Rubin, Jeff and Wilma Shear, Sergio Sanchez Guzman, and Ted Noel Singer. Thank you very much for supporting the temple. We appreciate that. And we have virtual flowers tonight in honor of Chris's birthday, 71st birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Chris.
Thank you. I'd like to invite up Harry, the chair of our Security Safety Committee.
No.
Who? Yes.
Yes, sorry, never mind.
Well, it's okay. All yours, Harry.
We did a survey of the temple and asked if people were interested in safety and security ushers being at the door. And we got a good response. The majority of the temple members said, I think it's great, we've got to have it. Then we asked if they'd volunteer to be an usher. And the response was equally great, oh no, we're not going to do that. But a whole group of people, 20 or more, almost 21, volunteered to do it. And they've gone through training, which included practicals and videos and conferences online and even some workshops. So tonight we're going to present them their certificates of completion. Not all of them are here, but everyone will get his or her certificate. So I will call the folks, and if you are here, please come up. Barry Davis, Joe Gorin, Jody Green, Tim Green, Victoria Jacobs, catching up here, Barry. Hold on, we're going to take a picture. Joe.
Here, I'll take a picture. Oh, you gotta take it?
Jody. Tim. Victoria. Dina Jastroff. Sarah Kelman.
I've got Chris's. I have Chris's.
Chris Jastroff. Oh. Greg Mayton, if he's here. Dina. Chris.
You don't have to go all the way. Just please go.
Laura Milhander.
I think so.
We'll get them all. I want to make sure that I give everyone who's here. Sergio Sanchez Guzman. Okay. Sergio. Now, not here tonight are Dana Porter, Toby Porter, Jeff Strauss, Amila Tierson, Diana Brown, Sharon Kravitz, Howard Levoot, Eileen McNella, and Mikhail Sneeward. Now, all these people, and Greg Mayton, all these people should receive your adulation because they give up their time to come 45 minutes earlier than you do to make sure the temple is safe and secure. Can we get a picture of everyone? Okay, I'm going to get over here.
You smush together like you know.
Please go a little bit, you guys.
What? Move in?
Yeah, because the path is blocking. There we go. Good.
Smile, cheese.
Say hello, Joe.
Put your certificate.
Joe, Congress doesn't take this long.
Good job.
Yes, it does.
Dina, Chris.
David
Put
got
your
the
certificates.
job.
Remember when you're in school, you hold them up like this, all proud? That's right.
Obviously the teacher.
Yes. It's fantastic. Excellent. I got it.
All right?
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Leslie. Okay,
We're
All
gonna
right.
sing. Oh, I'm sorry. We're gonna sing.
We're gonna sing first.
go ahead. A Simon Tava, Mazel Tava.
Semen Tov, Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov and Semen Tov, Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov and Semen Tov. Yehelanu, 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 Ulecho Yisrael. Yehelanu, Yehelanu, Ulecho Yisrael. Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, Semen Tov. Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, and Semen Tov. Semen Tov, Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov, and Semen Tov. Yeilanu. Your lights. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Mazel Tov. Thank you. Can someone go to the door? Meal is at the door. Can somebody open it? Thank you. It's my turn.
Okay.
Okay, please, please turn to page 32 for Ahavat Olam.
Slightly different melody, which I know you guys know. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. All the world sings to you, the world sings to you. The song of the trees when wind stirs their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. The song of the trees when wind stirs their leaves. The song of the earth when rain soothes its thirst. The song of the sea when waves are set free. The song of the sky when hummingbirds fly. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta. Ahavat Olam, Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Ahavta.
Okay, I'd like to bring Chris to light the Shabbat candles. And on page 3, you just do this blessing. Wait. Okay. Sorry. No, it's on.
As these Shabbat lights give light to all behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, and who has enabled us to kindle these lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר, להדליק נר של שבת. Tov, Chris.
The certificate, the traditional famous certificate from the temple is in the mail.
Happy
Happy birthday.
Thank you very much. In the mail.
In the mail.
Certificate is in the mail.
It's in the mail. Okay, we turn to page 5. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine. Praise to you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who finding favor with us, sanctifies us with mitzvot. In love and favor, you made the holy Shabbat our heritage as a reminder of the work of creation. As first among our sacred days, it recalls the exodus from Egypt. You chose us and set us apart from the peoples. In love and favor, you have given us your holy Shabbat as an inheritance. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei b'riah gavel. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava u'v'ratzon, hinkilanu, zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh, zecher nitziat mitzrayim, kivanu b'charta ve'otanu kidashta mikol amim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'v'ratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen. In some traditions, it's traditional to put it at the beginning, some for the end, and that's where we have it.
Okay.
So you're next.
Thank you. Please turn to page 9. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. On Shabbat, we do not seek to acquire, but to share. There are days when we exploit nature as if a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. On Shabbat, we stand in wonder before the mystery of creation. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others. On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world our goal. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace.
Please rise as you are able. When you feel you are moved to do so, as we do the Baruch Hu on page 28. So we sing Baruch Hu on page 1. Ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la, Amo ya la, la 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Baruch et Adonai, Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach, Leolam Vaed, Leolam Vaed. Yalalai, 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 we're doing
31.
we're on Mariv. Please be seated. If you like, you may be seated. If it is your tradition, you can stand. I'm going to do this one. Years ago, I was learning from a wonderful cantor, Cantor Charlin. And I asked him, please, 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 Cantor Charlin, will you please write me a marvelous Ma'ariv Aravim? And he said, perhaps God will give you a Ma'ariv Aravim. And I said, Cantor Charlin, you haven't heard what I write. And he said, perhaps. So a couple of days later, as I was coming down from a lesson with him, on my motorcycle in the fast lane, on the 405, sorry, Mom, it flew in. This melody flew in straight into my helmet, and I pulled over and I recorded it. And he made one little tweak and he said, it's done. We are on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim b'chochma poteach sharim ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיכם ברקיעת כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. אל חי וקיים תמיד ימלוך, עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, המעריב הרבים.
On page 31, this is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravim.
We're on page 33. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael. We're on page 34 for the Shema.
Please rise if you are able.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malechuto Malolam Leolam Va'ed. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command thee on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by thy way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto your God, unto your God, unto your God. Please be seated.
They have to. Page 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe that we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
We're on page 41, please. Sing the song of men and women, joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravaged by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
We've got the words on page 40, and you know this melody, so come in if you like.
Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neder b'kodesh, נורא תהילות אוסף אלך, נורא תהילות אוסף אלך. מלכותך ראו בניך, חוקי היום לפני משה ומרים. זה נהיינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. מי כמוך עלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא תהילות אוסף אלך, נורא תהילות אוסף אלך. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
On the bottom of page 42, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace, and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukkot shalom aleinu, v'kol amo Israel, v'al Yerushalayim.
On the bottom of page 43, grant us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter, into the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare us for when we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukkot shalom aleinu, v'kol amo Israel, v'al Yerushalayim.
We're
55.
on page 44. Please join me in V'shamaru.
V'shamaru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ישראל. Thank you. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובני ישראל, ביני ובני ישראל, עוד היא לעולם, עוד היא לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים, כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
On the top of page 47, pray as if everything depended on God, act as if everything depended on you. 46.
We're reading on page 46. Please rise if you are able for the Tefillah, the Amidah. Adonai, Setai, Tiftach. Adonai, Setai, Tiftach. Ufi Yagid, Tehilatecha, Ufi Yagid. Adonai Sfatai Tivtach. Adonai Sfatai Tivtach. Ufi Yagid Tefilatecha. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanota El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imachot U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'Nechem Leman Shemo Be'ava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav L'Choshiach Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechakel Hayim Bechesed Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Nofalim Verofech Hodim Umatir Asurim Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha Bagivurot Umidom Elach Melech Memit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'chayot ha'chol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh ha'kol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kadoshim b'chol yom yechalelu chasela Baruch atah Adonai Ha'chal ha'kadosh. Please be seated.
We're on page 53, the top of the page. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illuminates the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, How filled with awe is this place, and how do we not know of it? Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue on page 55. Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency. Make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance, the quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of humans. Shock us, Adonai, deny to us the false Shabbat that gives us the delusions of satisfaction amid a world of war and hatred. Wake us, O God, and shake us from the sweet and sad poignancies tendered by half-forgotten melodies and rubric prayers of yesteryears. Make us know that the border of the sanctuary is not the border of living, and the walls of your temples are not shelters from the winds of truth, justice, and reality. Disturb us, O God, and vex us. Let not your Shabbat be a day of torpor and slumber. Let it be a time to be stirred and spurred to action. Baruch atah Adonai, Makadesh HaShabbat.
We join on page 56 for the Ritzeh, which we never get to do.
Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu Be'amecha Yisrael U'tefilatam Be'ava Tikabel U'tefila Ratzon Tamid avodat Yisrael Yisrael Amecha El Karov Lecho Korav Kenei El Avadecha Lechoneinu Shefach Ruchacha Aleinu V'techezena Eineinu B'shuvecha L'Tzion
We are on the top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gifts of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more, we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hato shimcha al chadna e lahadot. Wait, did I skip?
You skipped one. You went there.
61, sorry.
Sorry. 61, page 61. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of the earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamarek et amo Yisrael b'shalom. 60.
Please turn to page 60. Whoops, try it again. We are on page 60 for Shalom Rav. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Ki ata Melech Adon, Lechol HaShalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'enecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam, Tasim Leolam. I don't see our list. We are on page 253 for the Misha Berach, and we will take a musical interlude. Are there people in here? No. Okay. And we take a musical interlude in the middle, and please mention the name of those who are needing a little extra help, a little extra support to get well, to feel better, heart and soul, mind and body and spirit. Mi sheberach avoteinu makor abraha leimoteinu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Lori Wiesel, Noel Singer.
Mi sheberach imoteinu makor abraha leavoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say
We're on page 63, the top. Create a pure heart within me. Let my soul wake up in your light. Open me to your presence. Flood me with your Holy Spirit. Then I will stand and sing out the power of your forgiveness. I will teach your love to the lonely. The lost will find their way home. Adonai, open up my lips, and my mouth will declare your praise. And now we'll do a minute of silent meditation.
We're on page 62. Ratzon imrefi והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון imrefi והגיון ליבי לפניך Adonai tzuri Adonai tzuri Adonai tzori vegoali Adonai tzori Adonai tzori Adonai tzori vegoali Yiyu leratzon imrefi vegion libi lefanecha Yiyu leratzon imrefi והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי
Thank you so much, Cantor, for that wonderful
And
melody.
Dr. Ray.
And
Thank
Dr.
you,
Ray.
Dr. Ray.
So this week's Torah portion, we've divided up into the two of us, a very short. Josh.
Okay, the Torah portion is Vayishlach, Genesis 32:4 to 36:43. This moment in Genesis 32 is essential to every generation, especially in the fraught times we live. Jacob faces what he believes is an existential threat, confronting his brother Esau. This moment could either heal the rifts in their family or threaten his very life. Jacob thinks first about his family and only afterward about himself. After he takes measures to protect those he loves, he undergoes an experience that defines the Jewish people. Jacob was left alone, and a man, or rather an angel according to commentators, wrestled with him until the break of dawn. When he saw that he had not prevailed against him, he wrenched Jacob's hip at its socket, so that the socket of his hip was stained as he wrestled him. Then he said, "Let me go, for dawn is breaking." But he answered, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." Said the other, "What is your name?" He replied, "Jacob." Said he, "Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel. For you have striven with beings divine and human and have prevailed." Genesis 32:25 to 29. And from that moment we are named. We are not the children of Abraham, nor are we the children of Isaac. We are not even the children of Jacob. We are Israel, struggling to be free of our fears, yearning to live with awe, unclenched, open-hearted, in love and blessing. Rabbi David Kimchi, from 1160 to 1235 province, knew that we need signs that we can overcome the challenges we face. The light of dawn is inevitably coming to distinguish the dark. When we face difficult situations, we must respond with strength, spirit, and faith, three elements that signify the Jewish people's approach to life. To be Am Yisrael is to wrestle with your own beliefs, souls, and strengths, not to cling to unquestioned faith or fundamentalist belief. While Am Yisrael has embraced questions and struggles since its very birth, this approach can often feel tiring and trying. The question becomes, when do we know that we have completed the struggle and are free to move beyond it?
Thank you so much, Leslie. My Drosh, little, where's, wait, it's disappeared. I know I had it right here. Great.
Don't make me give it. Don't make me give it.
Is it under here? It's under there.
Not in your book. This is crazy.
Here we go. You put it in my book.
It's in your book. Okay, I'm so sorry, Hunter. All right. So when we talked about the portion, it's a very unusual portion because as Leslie was talking at this moment, it starts off with Jacob reconciling with his brother, and it brings in the idea of when you commit a sin or you do something wrong. So we all know the story of Jacob taking his brother's birthright and what he does to reconcile with his brother. And I'm looking at the end of the portion at the fate of Dinah, not our beloved Dinah, but Dinah, the daughter of Leah.
Spelled differently.
Yes. So the question, I had a lot of questions after reading this. I said, it's so unusual. The Bible, not the Torah, as you know, was written by different groups. And usually you read something like, why would they put that in there? And why did this happen? What was the motive? So first of all, I thought, okay, I'm not going to say I'm not victim blaming. Please, this is not her fault. I'm not saying that in any least. I'm not promoting rape or abusing women. I'm just going to look at what they say it says in the Torah, okay? So, you wonder, I have a young lady in a strange town. They just got there. She's got all these brothers, and she's out walking by herself with nobody with her in a strange town, which is very unusual. I thought, that's strange. Now, when you read the portion, it specifically says, Dinah, the daughter of Leah. And some of the commentators say, well, if you remember correctly, Leah and Rachel met Jacob, because they were out of their father's house and he saw them. So here's the daughter, out by herself, with a bunch of women from the town, and she gets seen by a man. The next thing I asked myself was, well, what kind of rape was this? Now, usually when a rape happens in the Bible, it's a violent war. They've taken women prisoners. No, he takes her, he lays with her, he knows her, and he falls in love with her. And he talks to her sweetly. So it's a very different idea of the violent rape that we're used to. Okay? Now, after this happens, he goes to his father and says, Father, I've committed a sin, I've done this. Please get this girl for my wife. Do what it takes. So his father and Shem go to Jacob. Now, by this time, Jacob had already heard about what happened. And it specifically states in the portion, he remained silent. He wasn't upset. He didn't say anything. And in this case, the paragraph says he heard about his daughter. Now, previously she is Leah's daughter. Now she's his daughter. Okay. So Shem gets there with his Hamor, his father, and they go to speak to Jacob. Now, at this point, the brothers come up from the field, and the brothers hear about what happened, and they're very upset. Now, this is what's interesting. At this point, the father talks to him and says, this is what happened. My son, though, is in love with your daughter. I'll do whatever it takes to make the situation right. Now, in our modern mind, we know that rape is something that you can't make right. It's a crime. But in the Torah, it specifically states that if a man takes a woman and lays with her, what we would call rape, he must pay a penalty to the family and ask her to marry him. And she could say yes or no. If she agrees to marry him, he can never divorce her. He must always care for her and give her a house. Now, in our eyes, we're thinking, this is kind of strange. Why would you ask the rapist to do this? But we're thinking about 3,000 years ago when a woman who had been violated would have no value to any other man. So in reality, this was her saving grace. Anyway, so the father goes and says, we'll do whatever it takes. The son speaks and says, I will pay any price. Now, what's interesting is next, the sons of Jacob, and we believe it's Shimeon and Levi, even though at this point they're not named, speak up and say, oh, I'm sorry, let me back up one second. When he talks to Jacob, he says, your daughter. Now, if you look in the portion, he doesn't say your batcha, which would be your Jacob daughter. He says, batichem, all of your daughter, all the men who are here. He groups them all together. And when the sons speak, they say, our sister, but Jacob doesn't speak. The people who negotiate are the sons. The Torah portion specifically states that they spoke with him deceitfully. And you ask yourself, where have we heard this before about deceit and dealing with getting a wife? Well, we remember that originally Jacob had deceived his brother. Jacob pays the price. Next deceit comes in. Laban deceives Jacob with Leah. So it's like a cycle of deceit in this story. But eventually everybody has to pay their price. So the brothers speak deceitfully and tell them, well, you know what? We can't let you marry her because you're not circumcised. If you do that, you'll be kosher, things will be good, you can get married. So they do. They go, they circumcise themselves. The brothers wait 3 days at the point when they're in most pain and fall upon them and kill all the people in the town. Take their women, take their children, take their cattle, take their donkeys, everything, and go. They go back to their father, and the father says, what have you done? I have come to this land, and now you've made enemies of everybody. We need to flee because they will fall upon us and kill us. And they do. They leave the town. But you ask yourselves, as I said a minute ago, this portion is about if you sin, you will eventually pay the price. Things come around to go around. As it turns out, on his deathbed, in Genesis 49, Jacob specifically states to his sons, Reuben, you will be cast aside because of you sleeping with my handmaiden. Shimon and Levi, you are violent, and what you have done, you will be scattered. And he picks Judah, the fourth son, to be the new leader of Israel in reality. So, and the last point I'd like to bring up, the aftermath. Dinah's only mentioned one more time in the Bible. She is counted among the 70 people of the family members to go into Egypt from Israel. But there is an apocryphal story, not in the Torah, but in other texts, that state that she became pregnant. She had the baby, and it was a daughter. Her brothers obviously were not very happy to have a daughter of the rape there in the house. So to keep the peace, her father, Jacob, takes the baby, takes a little metal plaque and writes her name on it, puts it on her, and leaves her in Egypt at the palace. It sounds very familiar, doesn't it? The wife of a priest finds the baby. The priest is Potiphar, who you remember, Potiphar, who you should remember from the story of Joseph, who raised the daughter Aseneth, which is her name, Aseneth, as an Egyptian. Years later, when Joseph becomes the grandparent, he is given as a wife Aseneth, who he does marry and has 2 children, Ephraim and Manasseh, with his niece, which I thought was kind of incestuous, but so he goes, it closes the circle. So in the end, even though it was a rape, it leads to another part of the tribe of Israel from Ephraim and Manasseh, who got 2 portions. A lot of things I thought about for this portion and this rape. I think it's very thought-provoking about what happened and how, in the end, people do pay the price of the crimes they commit. Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
You're most welcome. I told you it would be
Thank you
short
very
and
much,
sweet.
Leslie, thank you, Joe. We will be
Elena.
discussing this in ad nauseum at the ONEG.
At the ONEG?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I didn't use the women's commentary, by the way. I
Okay.
used the traditional commentaries.
Oh, that's the problem. That's the difference.
No comment.
Okay.
I'm
So
not
we're-
commenting.
282.
We are on
There we
page
go.
282 as we rise, if we are able, for the Aleinu. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו כחלונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו We're on page 200.
283.
Oh, 283.
Oh, no, we did it.
Who did that?
224. We're on page 224 for the
294.
Oh.
294. No, I
Okay.
didn't get far enough.
294. Wow, I'm good.
And they rise as they're able. 294, the Kaddish. Yes, I know. Thank you. Toshiva Shiloshim period. Ellen Hope Hughes, friend of Peggy Horowitz. Martin Becker, my cousin. Bella Atun Cohen, sister of Allegra Gordon. Nahama Fregosa, mother of Lydia Garcia, grandmother of Navone. The yurtsite list is Max Finkelstein, Bluma Fogel, Jack Levin, Abraham Rosenblum, Deborah Rothstein, Joseph Lionel Weissman, Belle Spiro Austin, Cecil Broida, William Davis, Lillian Meisler Deslandis, Ellen Globerman, Herbert Goldmark, Leona Handel, Edward A. Kelevich Kelly, Gerald Jerry Robinson, Ida Rosen, Buddy Weinstein, Herbert Wilzig, Herman Winograde. On the Kaddish list is Norma Leppi, Claire Phillips, Helene Lieberman, Laura Cutler, Marty Hershkowitz, Dottie Roth, Gerald Kramer, Mark Lightman, Stephen Z. Lavoot, Harleen Bro, Tim Manriquez, Lenny Lightman, Lorraine Stein, Harry Fox, Ed Ginter, Dr. Alan Sherman, Mary Lewis, Joel Lowenstein, Arthur Krieger, Maria Paulus Osborne, sorry. Yes. 294.
294. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, ויעמד דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחיי חון ובימי חון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעלמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי בקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to those who mourn and to all of Israel. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. All right.
What's to say?
We're going to
We have our closing song.
closing song now?
Closing song,
Closing
yes.
song we are. Closing song, and then we'll do a bissel of bread and challah. Okay, please, if you want, give a little hug to a friend next to you. And sing along, because I know you know most of this song.
What song is this?
You're fine. May the Lord protect and defend you. May God always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth or like David. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen us, O Lord, and keep us from the stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long life. May the Lord fulfill our Sabbath prayer for you. May God keep you and shield you from strife. May God give you partners who will care for you. May the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from vain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz le'ava. Please enjoy yours in the
Social.
social hall.
It's awesome.
Thank you
Shabbat
so
shalom.
much for Leslie and Joe and David and Chris
And
and
Phil.
Dr. Ray.
Dr. Ray, and also the wonderful Susan up in
Washington.
Washington. And of course, we
Dr.
look
Bill.
forward to seeing Rabbi.
Oh, that's right. We'll see
Back
you on
soon.
next week soon.
Wave goodbye.
Yeah, that's over here.
We got through it. We got
We got
through
through
it.
it.
We got through it.
Far with a helper.
I just used the traditional commentaries. I actually did read the Romans commentary,
And it's
but I said
different,
I'm going to go into all the stuff.
Sorry. What are you gonna do?
which is why I didn't even want to go into that portion.
That's so funny. Oh well. No, that was me
What?
online on that.
We did our best.
No, I think we did a very good job.
Taking the things down. You want
Yes, yes. Of course.
I'm looking forward to the pies.
You better hurry in that case. I know the sprout. The pies are gonna be gone.
I know.
And a couple of them will be like double pie helpers. Instead of one. We pull a sign that says one pie only. Yes, miss.